do. You know, the biggest question, why did you retire? Is anything going to take you to come back to the sport of boxing?
Man, listen, a lot of people keep asking me why I retired. When you've been doing this sport since you was 7 years old, and
John is an emotional being, gets into the moment, forgets himself. You can see, excuse the bad language, but this is, you know, when you see that, this is the moment when he realised he beat up. It was that, you know, when John had done it, like, shit, what have I done? But he had to own it. I think the pressure was on. The pressure is now on John to behave himself.
Don't come anywhere near me, nowhere in the vicinity within my jab, or you will be getting ironed out. You'll be unconscious. You'll be snoring before you hit the floor. Big John Fury, the bare knuckle champion, the fighting man. You'll be asleep before you hit the floor. So don't talk rubbish.
You never really want to see that because it's a little bit over the top and it's, you know, blood, and some people look down at stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it is a fight. It is the fight game. It's going to build the hype even more. Yeah, of course, it'll increase interest and eyes on the fight.
Come and meet me face to face. I'll eat Froch alive and I'll eat Bellew alive. And by the way, Bellew got his ass handed to him by a bantamweight when he was young, called Michael. Come down here! Come down here! Come on! Come down here! Come down here! Bum ya! I'll bum ya! I'll bum ya!
Following the heated moment with Carl Froch, boxing voices are now questioning the behavior of John Fury. Many believe the outburst has only damaged his image, with several pros suggesting he is making a spectacle of himself rather than helping the situation.
The pressure is now on John to behave himself. He's distracted a lot of attention and talk, and I'm quite sure someone will have a word with him out. The authorities will have a word with him out.
Eddie Hearn believes the clash between John Fury and Carl Froch clearly crossed the line, but he also admits moments like this always bring more attention to boxing. In his view, the incident looked unnecessary, and instead of intimidating anyone, it only made John Fury appear out of control while Carl Froch remained calm.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's boxing, it's family. John's John. Both goading each other. Both very personal. Both means a lot to everybody. Shouldn't have done it.
Simon Jordan openly criticizes John Fury and describes the behavior as completely thuggish and embarrassing for the sport. According to him, the confrontation with Carl Froch did nothing but expose John Fury's temper, making the situation look chaotic rather than intimidating.
No, not really. It's thuggish behaviour. John Fury's, I mean, it's boorish, thuggish, unedifying, unpalatable, uncouth, vulgar behaviour. Absolutely. But what do you expect from John Fury?
Well,
I mean, John Fury's been in prison for gouging someone's eyes out. What did you expect him to do? Convert into a Samaritan? Is it a nice look? No. Was it a nice look over the years in boxing about so many things? This ridiculous sentimentalising of society and expecting everyone to behave in their best version of themselves.
Carl Froch does not hold back at all here. He openly calls out John Fury for acting like a thug and says laughing it off afterwards only makes it worse. In Froch's view, the behavior is embarrassing and unnecessary, and he believes John Fury should step aside and stop inserting himself into the spotlight.
He's behaved like a thug in a disgusting manner, and then he's able to just laugh it off and joke it off and say, you know what, anyone comes near me, they're going to get a headbutt. So it's kind of justified what he's done. He's been vindicated for what he's done, as in, yeah, it's okay to go around like that and behave like an imbecile, and then still laugh and joke and still threaten to headbutt me and Bellew. I've told you what I think about headbutting this too. You know.
Isaac Lowe points out that John Fury completely lost his cool in front of hundreds of people. He highlights how John Fury's quick temper turned a tense moment into a spectacle, while Carl Froch stayed composed and let the Fury antics expose him further.
Getting a man's face in front of a hall with over 500 people, what do you expect someone to do? Pushing and shoving, and we all know Big John's quick-tempered, you know what I mean? But he threw the headbutt first, so it is what it is. But I think when you're getting someone's first and you're tolerating and pushing someone's head back,
Eddie Hearn clearly explains the tension surrounding John Fury and Carl Froch. He warns that the Fury outbursts are so unpredictable that strict security is needed to prevent chaos. Hearn's comments underline how John Fury's reckless behavior is turning the press conference into a circus, with his own actions almost overshadowing the fighters themselves. Meanwhile, Froch remains calm and professional, further exposing John Fury's inability to handle himself, making it obvious that pros see him as someone creating his own embarrassment.
You honestly think if these two come together like this, you know what's going to happen? So what are you going to...
I'm going to keep them apart by a wall of security.
Oleksandr Usyk calls out the Fury camp, and specifically John Fury, for poor conduct. He frames the entire fiasco as an issue created solely by the Fury team, highlighting how unprofessional John Fury's antics appear to the boxing world. While others like Carl Froch maintain composure, John Fury continues to make himself the center of ridicule, proving that many top fighters and insiders see him as his own worst enemy.
Bad behavior, Fury team, Fury father. It's problem only Fury team.
Johnny Nelson suggests that John Fury effectively set himself up as a target. His antics have made Carl Froch look calm and dominant in comparison. Nelson points out that while John Fury stirred the crowd and got attention, he also exposed himself to criticism and ridicule from pros. Froch's composed reaction highlights the contrast, showing that John Fury's behavior only fuels speculation and entertainment rather than proving any real strength.
Froch, I'm fine because I'm quite sure Carl's going to rip the life out of John after today. I think John did the job. John did the job and got the excitement going, got people talking. That's exactly what he did.
John, I know you. Adam Smith explains that while both men enjoy stirring the pot, it's John Fury's behavior that truly grabs attention for the wrong reasons. Smith acknowledges the entertainment factor, but it's clear that pros and insiders see Fury's antics as overblown and unnecessary. Meanwhile, Carl Froch handles the situation with measured confidence, exposing Fury's loud and brash approach as more of a spectacle than a threat. Smith subtly highlights that John Fury is making himself look foolish, even as he thinks he is controlling the hype.
What I do know is that John Fury and Carl Froch on the cobbles will be fun. I think they both have a good fun doing that, but I'm sure it's all fun and games. They like to say what they believe, they like to say something that's controversial, and they're two big characters, and we love having them around the sport.
Ade Oladipo points out that John Fury literally charged at the situation without thinking, leaving everyone guessing his intentions. This reckless approach makes it clear that Fury is creating his own embarrassment, turning what should have been hype into awkward chaos. Carl Froch remains unshaken, calmly letting Fury's unpredictable antics highlight his lack of control and show the world who really commands respect inside the boxing scene.
Fury, being John Fury, went straight for him. I'm not quite sure what he was going to do if he got to him, but I guess that was the entertainment from the press conference.
Spencer Oliver points out the chaos caused by John Fury, highlighting how reckless and unpredictable his behavior has become. Even seasoned pros admit it is difficult to predict outcomes with Fury around, but Spencer clearly respects Carl Froch's controlled approach, calling him dangerous and still sharp despite his age. The incident also exposed Fury's inability to regulate himself, as he even steamrolled toward legends like Lennox Lewis, making it obvious that his actions were more about attention than strategy. Pros see this as Fury's own spectacle, embarrassing himself while Froch maintains a calm, professional stance, proving who the real threat is in any confrontation.
John Fury, Carl Froch, who wins that one?
Difficult one to call, that.
Really?
You got to go with the
Really?
Cobra. You got to go with the Cobra, mate.
Really?
The Cobra's dangerous. He's still in shape. 48 years of age.
John's standing over there behind you.
You got to go with John Fury. Yeah, no, it kicked off a little bit. But it wasn't only Carl Froch that he went into either, did he? He actually went into Lennox Lewis as well. He started steaming into Lennox Lewis a little bit, and I go, whoa, who wins that one?
Liam Goff breaks down the tension between John Fury and Carl Froch, highlighting how Fury's threats are loud but mostly performative. Pros see Fury's insistence on conditions and money as him trying to appear intimidating while actually exposing himself. Froch, by contrast, shows calm professionalism, even suggesting charity as a way to channel any clash constructively. This contrast makes it obvious that Fury is creating his own spectacle, making the whole exchange more about his ego than actual threat. Observers feel Fury's antics entertain, but they also leave him looking foolish, while Froch continues to earn respect through measured composure.
John Fury was doing that and goading Carl Froch, and I know John Fury doesn't like Carl Froch. Carl Froch mentions him, although I haven't really watched much of Carl Froch's videos lately. But Carl Froch, I know, has mentioned John Fury in the past. He's had a go with John Fury. They actually talked about having an actual, was it an exhibition or a boxing type match? And John Fury, any man, any time, was saying words to the effect of, "Oh, I'll fight you, Carl Froch, but the money has to be right." And Carl Froch basically said, "Alright, well, if we arrange payment, it can go to charity."
John Fury's tirade reads like a frantic attempt to prove dominance, but pros see it as over-the-top and self-defeating. He rants about old-school toughness and threatening anyone who questions him, but observers note that his words only expose a lack of control and professionalism. In contrast, Carl Froch maintains a calm, confident presence throughout, letting Fury's chaotic behavior undermine his own credibility. Experts suggest Fury's outbursts make him look more like he's performing for attention than actually intimidating anyone, while Froch's measured responses solidify his reputation as the one truly in control. This episode clearly exposes Fury as his own worst enemy.
Outside, I'm an animal. I'm telling you now, people who know me, or the past, they're all dead who know me. Who could say he can fight? Outside he's an animal. They're all dead and gone. I'm from old school. I'm from the 70s, 80s and 90s when men was men. We didn't talk down YouTube. So men made videos. We fought. And you see that, the pussies, man. Pussies. You think some 12-stone man can beat me a 5 off that window like an aeroplane? Like a paper aeroplane.
Gareth A. Davies highlights how John Fury's overzealous nature around his sons turns into a spectacle that even professionals find distracting. While Fury wants to be seen as fearless, pros observe that his behavior mostly embarrasses him and overshadows his sons' careers. Carl Froch, on the other hand, uses the same moments to appear calm, measured, and in full control. Experts suggest that Fury's need to dominate and react aggressively only makes him look foolish in front of the public and insiders, reinforcing the narrative that he's effectively making a mockery of himself while Froch rises above the chaos.
What John does, he's very, very, very passionate around his sons when they're fighting, and it gets something out of him. I spoke to him literally face to face, and I said, well, you know, what is upset? He said, I don't want people calling me out because I'll take any man on.
Yeah.
You know the comments.
Yeah.
My guy came from...
The tension between John Fury and Carl Froch has reached boiling point, and the build-up is nothing short of explosive. Every press conference, every stare-down, every outburst has shown that John Fury is making his own spectacle while Froch remains calm, measured, and mentally unshakable. If John Fury somehow pulls through, it would be a shocking upset that would rewrite narratives about his temper and unpredictability. But if Carl Froch handles it as expected, he will prove that experience, composure, and calculated aggression always triumph over raw emotion and theatrics. Analysts and fans alike are debating who wants it more, who is stronger mentally, and who is simply creating drama for attention. The world is watching every movement, every word. One thing is clear: the spotlight is firmly on these two, and the stakes could not be higher. Are you backing Carl Froch to expose John Fury once again, or do you think John Fury will shock everyone and steal the moment? Drop your thoughts below, and join the debate in the comments.